Hi, this is Mike, and this is my modified sauna jungle kit. It's modified because when I got it, it had the small bass drum, which is 16 by 60, yes, it's very small. This small tom, which is 10 by 8, and the floor tom, which is 14 by 12. I've since added to it by the addition of the second tom here, which is 12 by 9, and with this small snare drum, which again is a 12 by 5.5. It's a lovely little kit, but it's due for a makeover. I've already got another black kit, so I thought, well, let's have one that looks a bit different. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to recover it using this material. It's a very, very thin self-adhesive vinyl. They use this for cars these days, would you believe? I've seen it done on cars. If you have a look on the internet, you'll see them using this material. Anyway, the whole of this cost me less than £20, and I'm going to do a real big makeover on this kit, and this is what this video is all about. Okay, we're ready to start the project, and I've chosen the small tom-tom to be the first drum. One, because it's probably the simplest. Two, because it's the smallest and uses less material. And if I make a mess of it, I'm not losing so much material. But I have bought, I think, more than enough material. This is 75 centimetres by 3 metres, and I don't think I'm going to need all that much, but it allowed me to make a few mistakes. The first thing I've done is I took some photos of it to remind me exactly what everything was, alright? And what we have to do to start the project is to take the heads off first, and then take all the hardware, all the metal bits off. And you have a drum key to do that. Take the heads off. Inside then, you need a small screwdriver, like a Phillips screwdriver, to go around and take all these legs off. And then you got this piece here which holds the tom on. They're attached to these two legs, but there's also a thing underneath, and I think that that's held on with a hex nut, so I've got a little hex key to do that as well. The two tricky things about this, that stuff is fairly easy. Got two lovely badges on here that we're going to take off and put back on. Luckily, they screwed on with tiny screws, so I've got a little jeweler's screwdriver to take those off there. Sometimes they put double-sided tape to stick them on as well. We won't know until we take them off. So that's the tricky bit. There's one other tricky bit that you can't see. I'll show you when we get to the next part of the thing. Underneath here is a air hole. When you hit the drum, the air comes out, and that's got a metal grommet on it. That's a tricky thing, and I'm going to cover that in the next part of the video. So what I've got also is this to put all the parts in. That's very important so you don't lose anything. So I'm going to take all the bits off here, put them in the box, and come back and show you the next stage of it. It's a bit boring, so I'm going to switch the camera off. I can do that without you having to watch me. Okay, I'm going to show you how to get these badges off. Because I've took the screws off and put them in here, and find that there's this sticky underneath there, it's glued in. So what you got to do is to try to lift this off without damaging the drum. So what I've got, first of all, I've got this bit of sort of cardboard for the top of a takeaway tray that I'm just easing under there just to lift it slightly. Okay, so this is not hurting anything. Then once there's a bit of a gap there, I'm going to take like a credit card thing and push that under. Just so, there we are. And that's come off like that. It's still sticky, so I can put that back on. I'm going to pop that one in there. There's a bit of glue there, which you just rub away. And the thing is that you can see where the holes are for these little screws. They just go in there. When the wrap is on, I should be able to just rub them down, and that stands proud, so I know where to put them in. So not a fluke, but do it with this other one. See what happens with this. Okay. Using it. Oh, there we go. Off we go. I don't want to bend these really, but they'll go back on okay. That's how you take the badges off. Now, I talked about this grommet, okay? The thing is with this, is that to get, it's a real bugger. So what I'm going to do is to cover it over, and then if needs be to cut around it or to cut the hole out, and we'll see what happens as that goes along, okay? The other thing I've done with this is that I've used these little post-it notes to mark the top of the drum and to mark inside where the badges are. You can see that, badge there, badge there. So I know when I put the hardware on which way it's going to do it. Now the thing is, because these holes are there, when the badge goes, when the thing is on, I can rub them and that will stand out and we'll know where to put the thing in there. So we're about to start the covering process now. Right, well the first thing to do is to give it a good old rub down with a hanky to get rid of any dust that's on there, so that there's a nice surface, nice smooth clean surface to adhere to. The other thing is to work out where your overlap is going to be, and if this is the front of the drum sitting there, you want it away from the audience, so I'm going to start the gap there. I'm going to use these holes as something to line up against to try to sort of get the gap either side as sort of regular as possible. So this is what I'm going to do, is unpeel this a little bit and line her up along there, and hopefully they'll be around about the same. Doesn't matter if one starts creeping, because as you say, as you saw, the hoop will do it. Now what you do is you keep doing it like this. You release a little bit of this material underneath, and as you're doing it, you smooth it down. So I keep releasing it gently. Don't be tempted to pull off a little bit, a long bit. Just do a little bit at a time. Alright, it's going on really smoothly. So just a tiny bit at a time. Right, now I've come to the grommet part here. So let's rub that down. Well, that's looking quite good there. Actually, I'm quite pleased with the way that grommet is working. Now the only thing I've noticed is that this is starting to creep a bit here. If it doesn't work, I've got plenty of material, but I'm hoping that it'll be fine for what we want, knowing that most of it is hidden anyway by the hoop. Here we go. Right, so oh shit, what an idiot, eh? Left his post-it note on there, so it's covered the post-it note as well, so I'm going to peel it back, take my post-it note off. What an idiot, eh? And it looks as if that's going to show there, so how am I going to get this off? Well, let's put it on and see what happens. Well, I've distorted that there, but because it's the overlap, what I can do is to trim it. And you won't see it. Now, right, so we found that there's a gap at the top and the bottom, but is it acceptable? So the hoop goes on there, and turn it round. You can't really, there's a little bit, you can see the black there, look, on that, but where's that? That's right, behind there, so nobody's going to see that really, because the drums are going to be like that, so who's going to see that? Apart from somebody who's going to be underneath. On the other side, so all the thing is covered there, so on the other side it's okay. What I might do is actually cut myself a little strip and put it on there if I'm that fussy, or at the end of the project, if I really feel I want to spend some more time in it, I can undo this and recover it. Again, I got plenty of stuff there. So the next stage is to put the hardware on and prepare to put the hardware on. So what you want to do with this then is to make thing for the holes. So you get one of the small screwdrivers and poke it out from the inside like that. Then once you've done that, you can see the holes there. You just get the little screwdriver like this and push it in, and that creates the holes for the legs to go in. Let's have a look at the grommet, is it? Ah, that looks fine, doesn't it? That looks alright. If I wanted to, I could sort of get a knife and put that in there, but I don't think I'm going to bother, because at the end of the day, there's going to be a holder over there, you're not going to see it. So I'm going to put all the hardware on and come back to you. This little section of the video is about getting good value out of the material, or not buying any enough. I've bought a bit too much really. This is 75 centimeters, and I said that this goes out to 3 meters. Well, if you look at this here, this is a meter chunk that I've cut out of it. The bit that's missing here, throw that away, is what I use to cover the small tom-tom. So I've got enough material on this, first of all, to cover both the snare drum and the second rack tom. I've got some spare bits there, but because this is only a metre, I'm not going to have a use for that unless because the other drums are I've got a bigger diameter. So I've got 2 meters here to cover the 16 by 16 bass drum and the 14 by 12 floor tom. So I've probably got more than enough to do that, and a little bit spare if I need to do any patches. So measure your drums and you might not need to buy as much as well. This lot only cost me 20 quid. I could probably got away with 15 quid's worth of the stuff. Well, surprise, surprise, I've done 2 of them. The small one and the medium sized one. So there we go, the badges are all on. Everything's sort of back together again. What do you think? I think they look really brilliant myself. I love them actually. I like this colour. By the way, the colour's called Tiffany Blue. That's what it's called. So I'm pleased with Tiffany Blue, so I'm going to go and I'm going to finish off the rest of the kit. The snare drum, the floor tom and the small bass drum. After I've done that, put them all back together, I'll come back and show you the end result. Well, here's the end result. My black kit transferred into this lovely Tiffany Blue kit. Doesn't it look lovely and fresh? Really lifts it. I think it's a really good choice. I'm glad I did this. And to finish it off, what I did, I put the band's name using spare material which I cut out and stuck on the thing there. So I've got a bass drum head as well, specially done for it. So here we are. Lovely new kit. Hope you like it. The next video I'm going to do is what am I going to do with all the stands? How am I going to sort of add stands to this? I've got a few ideas and I'm going to do a video with a number of different ideas I've got for the stands to go with this particular kit. Hope you've enjoyed watching it. It's 20 quid this cost me. Cheap at half the price.